I found out my parents didn't even know I had been hospitalized for a week because they never answer their phones. And honestly, part of me stopped trying on purpose. Before anyone judges me, let me explain. I'm 25 and live in another city for work, while my parents still live in my hometown. We actually have a pretty good relationship. We call often, I visit during holidays, and there's no huge family drama. But there's one thing that has driven me, and literally everyone in our family, insane for years. My parents are impossible to contact. Not they reply late sometimes. I mean completely unreachable. Their phones are always dead, or left in another room, or accidentally muted for days. Sometimes I call 5 or 6 times before they finally answer hours later like nothing happened. And the worst part? They always blame everyone else. If they miss important news, they complain that nobody tried hard enough to contact them. Meanwhile, the entire family is exhausted trying to reach them. My older brother once had a minor car accident, and they didn't find out until the next day because both their phones were dead. My aunt had surgery. They found out 4 days later. My cousin had a baby. Almost a week later. Every single time, same story. I've talked to them about this constantly. I told them, what if there's an emergency? What if someone really needs you? What if something happens to me? They always laugh it off and say I'm overreacting. For context, my parents are almost 60. They're not really into technology at all. They basically use smartphones like old house phones. No texting, barely checking notifications, nothing. But still, in 2026, having your only phone turned off half the time feels ridiculous. Then last month, something happened. I got severe food poisoning. At first, I thought it was just stomach pain, but it got bad really fast. I ended up collapsing in my apartment bathroom, and my roommate rushed me to the hospital. I was admitted for almost a week because of dehydration and complications. The first 2 days, I tried calling my parents multiple times. No answer. Again and again. One phone was dead. The other was apparently somewhere in the house. I remember sitting in that hospital bed, staring at my phone, feeling this weird mix of anger and disappointment. And eventually, I stopped trying. Now, technically, I could have called my aunt. She lives near them and absolutely would have gone to tell them immediately. But after years of this exact same problem, part of me thought, no, let them finally see what happens when nobody can reach them. So I stayed quiet. A week later, I got discharged, recovered, and went back to normal life. Then yesterday, during a casual phone call with my mom, I mentioned, oh yeah, last month I was hospitalized for a week. Silence, then immediate panic. She started freaking out, asking why I never told them. I reminded her that I did try calling several times. That's when she got angry. Not worried, angry. She said I should have contacted my aunt because this was an emergency. And honestly, that's the part that annoyed me the most, because suddenly communication mattered when it affected them. I admitted that yes, I could have contacted someone else, but I intentionally didn't because I wanted them to finally understand how irresponsible they are with their phones. My mom completely lost it. She accused me of using my hospitalization to teach them a lesson. My dad thinks we're both being stubborn. Now some relatives are saying I was cruel for not finding another way to contact them, but others think this was the natural consequence of ignoring the same issue for years. And honestly, I still don't know if I feel guilty. So, Eita,